Mount Zion's Got Talent, we kind of take a spin off of America's Got Talent as far as the name of this, but there is no judgment. It's just a time for us to come together, have fun, laugh. Um, so with that being said, there's a variety of things. People are singing, some people are playing. There is some skits, some poems being read. There's a lot of just different things. To start off, these are in no particular order. These are just the way that I wrote them down. Miss Linda is going to start off, and she is going to be reading Homework Stew, My Teacher Took My iPod, Be Glad Your Nose is on Your Face, Over the Hill, and The Joys of Getting Old. And then after them, if the church rules will be getting ready, y'all are up next. Okay, Miss Linda?
Well, she's already told you the good news. I'm not singing. That's the good news. Now, for some, reading poetry may be bad news. But I've always liked poetry. I don't read that much of it. I certainly don't write it. But I just found some funny, I think funny, I hope you crack a smile. And I tried to do it kind of age-related. We don't have too many school-age children here. We do have some, but the Homework Stew, I read it to Jackie and he laughed, so y'all can at least crack a smile maybe. I hope so. So this is Homework Stew by Ken Nesbitt. I cooked my math book in a broth and stirred it to a steaming froth. I threw in papers, pencils too, to make a pot of homework stew. I turned the flame up nice and hot and tossed my binder in the pot. I sprinkled in my book report with colored markers by the quart. Despite its putrid, noxious gas, I proudly took my stew to class. And though the smell was so grotesque, I set it on my teacher's desk. Here's the kicker. My teacher said you're quite a chef, but still, you're going to get an F. I didn't ask for homework stew. I said, tomorrow, homework's due. Now, this is for the older children, I guess you'd say. This is called My Teacher Took My iPod by Ken Nesbitt. My teacher took my iPod. She said they had a rule. I couldn't bring it into class or even to the school. She said she would return it. I'd have it back today. But then she tried my headphones on and gave a click on play. She looked a little startled, but after just a while, she made sure we were occupied and cracked a wicked smile. Her body started swaying, her toes began to tap. She soon was grooving in her seat and rocking to the rap. My teacher changed her mind. She said it's okay now to bring my iPod into class. She takes it every day. I forgot the rhyming word. Let me do that last one. It'll hit you better. My teacher changed her mind. She said it's now okay to bring my iPod into class. She takes it every day. Sounds a little better. Anyway. Now this one I said is for all ages. So Be Glad Your Nose is on Your Face by Jack Prelusky. Be glad your nose is on your face, not pasted on some other place. For if it were where it is not, you might dislike your nose a lot. Imagine if your precious nose were sandwiched in between your toes. That clearly would not be a treat, for you'd be forced to smell your feet. Your nose would be a source of dread were it attached atop your head. It soon would drive you to despair, forever tickled by your hair. Within your ear, your nose would be an absolute catastrophe, for when you were obliged to sneeze, your brain would rattle from the breeze. Your nose instead, through thick and thin, remains between your eyes and chin, not pasted on some other place, be glad your nose is on your face. Now, these last two, you can tell real quickly it's for the older people here today. And this one is Over the Hill by Maxine Bailey. It seems like only yesterday when I was in my youth, but my body tells me otherwise. I've got old, and that's the truth. I used to love the nightlife when I was in my prime, but now I'm lucky if I'm not asleep in bed by 9:30. I've gone from going to parties in my fancy night attire to a snug pair of pajamas and a mug of cocoa by the fire. I try to do the crosswords to keep my mind tip-top. Then I'll venture into another room, but for what, as I've forgotten. I get my daily workouts now by just doing household chores. If I manage to change the bed sheets, I expect so much applause. My teeth, well, they've seen better days, and my skin's a little thin, but at least I've reached my twilight years. Now to me, that's such a win. I need my trusty hearing aid so I can hear your voice. Finally, a perk for me, as this is my choice. My mind may think I'm 25, but my body's had its day. But I soldier on regardless, as that's life, as they all say. You don't have to clap unless you're over 60. Okay, this last one, The Joys of Getting Old, and it takes a little work sometimes to find them, but they're out there. The years are rushing by so fast, it's really quite concerning. If only I could stem the tide, I can't, is what I'm learning. My mind still thinks it's 21, but my body is a mess. A nice toned stomach, just a dream, I do confess. My bones, now they get achy, and my skin's a little saggy. And when I wear my favorite clothes, they are tight, but once were baggy. My wrinkly skin and hairy chin loom largely upon my face, but I hold my head up high and smile with elegance and grace. My dark hair I do despair, now a mix of white and gray. It was my favorite feature long ago, back in the day. My pace is slowed, upon me bestowed, a love for all things calming. A cup of cocoa and a nice good book I now find oh so charming. The years are rushing by so fast, a pleasure denied to some. I may be over the hill, as they say, but I cherish the good times to come. The end.